Hear the stories of men and women switching hustles and escaping the odds through entrepreneurship after prison. Not only will these stories inspire you, but also unlock business tips for financial freedom. Let's get it. Thank y'all for tuning in to another dope episode of Escaping the Odds. And as last week, we celebrate International Women's Month, and today I have a young lady on with an extraordinary story. Had the opportunity to really sit down and talk with her, and she's doing so much. But today she's going to talk about some of her endeavors that she's doing. Miss Coco Davis out of Chicago, west side of Chicago.
West side.
Spent a significant amount of time in federal prison, and she's going to get into that. And she really has a dope story, and let's get into it. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Thanks for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So your whole experience in the system, it's kind of a unique situation. I often don't get the opportunity to talk to many women that were incarcerated, but as you and I know, the women population is a growing population in the system, and for whatever reason. And so I just want to kind of get into your whole experience and how that even happened for you, because you were a first-time offender.
Yes.
Right, and got hit with a significant amount of time.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't know that the federal system will crush you, but it didn't crush your spirit.
Didn't crush my spirit.
Exactly. So how did it all come about? Like, what happened?
Well, it started off with a simple phone call.
Okay.
It was a simple phone call made to a pager that I literally thought was broken.
Okay, so you said a pager, so we going back.
1999 is when the
Okay.
case started.
Okay.
It wasn't no investigation.
Okay.
It was a simple phone call from a young man who was my supplier.
Okay.
He had got caught up with a truckload full of cocaine.
Okay.
And he decided to set some of the people up who he was selling to. Well, and I was one of them. He called my pager, which I thought, like I said, the pager was broken.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband just one day heard the pager going off and decided to call the number back on the pager. And when he did, that was the worst thing he could have ever done, was return that call.
Okay.
And that started an investigation.
Okay.
Because when he returned the call, they immediately started talking about a drug deal. But we hadn't even heard from him in like over a year. So I was kind of like wondering where he at, but
That wasn't fishy to you at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But you always have in the back of your mind, I'm going to shoot this last deal, I'm done. I was already pretty much cool.
So basically, this was it for you?
In my mind, I was saying that this last run
Okay.
was going to be it.
Okay.
I'm going to make this large purchase, and this was going to be it.
Okay.
So when my husband answered the call and they started talking, I had just walked back into the house from dropping my kids off at school,
Okay.
and he passed the phone to him, which made me conspire with him and the caller. So
When you say, hold on, let's go back, right? You said conspire.
that made me conspire with him.
As you and I both know, these conspiracy laws are crazy.
Oh,
in the federal system. But our audience,
they don't
may
know
not
anything about conspiracy.
Right. So when you said conspire, can you kind of go into that a little bit?
When two or more is engaged in a conversation that's trying to make or going to make a transaction when dealing with drugs,
Okay.
fraud,
Anything.
murder,
Right.
any of those things, money laundering, you conspire with the person because you willingly know what that person was doing. That is what
As they
conspiring
say,
is and conspiracy
a
is.
jointly undertaken activity.
Yes.
In their words.
Yes, in their
Right,
word, right.
right.
They want to just brush it up.
Yeah.
So anyway, just moving right along. So that prompted the investigation, and the phone call continued to happen like 2 days.
Okay.
And I set up the deal with my supplier, literally at the Rock and Roll McDonald. That's what a transaction
Downtown
was.
Chicago.
Downtown Chicago at the
Okay.
Rock and Roll McDonald.
Felt like that was a safe spot.
It was in the open, because
Being a woman.
because no, not just being a woman. I just wanted to just negotiate some prices, face to face. So meet me there.
Okay.
So I met him there, and I actually seen with my own eyes the guy in the car who I was supposed to be meeting, which wasn't the guy I was talking to, my supplier. It was an informant. But it was a DEA.
Okay.
It wasn't no one trying to set me up or cooperate against me.
Right.
It was literally the DEA
Right.
posing as the informant.
Okay.
So I see one of the guys over there with a black hoodie on at the telephone, and I peeped it. I'm like, oh, something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
So my first initiative was to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I put the car in rear view to back out,
Mm-hmm.
DEA, ATF, and FBI came from everywhere.
But they didn't have anything on you.
They only had money.
But they didn't have you even meeting with him.
No, I wasn't meeting with the supplier. I was meeting with the informant, which supposedly been the supplier.
Okay.
However, what made it an attempt is because I showed up at the scene.
Okay, right.
So I got charged with conspiracy with an intent to distribute over 150 kilos of cocaine and 1 kilo of heroin.
Wow.
Which prompted me later on down the line, I went to trial, which gave me a sentence of 268 months, which total in years, 21 years and 10 months.
Okay.
That's what they gave me because I went to trial. First time offender, you know. Yes, they gave me 21 years and 10 months. After doing after being sentenced, I can clearly right now to this day still remember everything that judge said to me at the time of my sentence. And the main things that stood out to me that I would never forget. And he said to me, Ms. Davis, the sentence that I'm going to pose on you today, you're not going to like them. But by the time you come home, your kids will have kids. So deep down inside, I'm like, oh, this he finna give me a lot of time.
Right. So did you already, I'm sure you may have already know a range you were dealing with.
Yes, but I'm still thinking that, okay, if I go to trial, just maybe, they'll give me 10 years.
Okay.
You know? I'm not finna cooperate. I'm not finna give the government what they want.
Okay.
I'm not finna snitch on nobody. I'm not finna set anybody up. If you got what you got, then you use it. And that was my mindset, you know? It was my mindset that I'm not finna do this here.
Right.
You know, you got me, why get everybody else?
Right, because, you know, as you and I both know that a lot of times the government, especially with a woman, they're going to throw them kids in you. They're going to dangle the kids in your face and say, okay, this is the reason why you should cooperate.
They never said, the judge made sure that my kids' name never be mentioned.
Right.
He even refused to even have my kids in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Because when I left them, they was 10 and 8.
Wow. So how was that whole experience for them? Like, you know, what are your thoughts behind everything?
Well,
having to leave your children as 10 and 8.
Leaving my kids, you know, I was forced to leave my kids. It wasn't my choice.
Right.
It wasn't my choice to leave my kids. I did everything I possibly can do besides cooperating with the government to be home with my kids. That's the worst thing that any man can do, is to separate a mother from her kid. I mean, all of those lonely nights, those weary nights, just wondering, is my kids okay? Wonder, is my kids safe? Wonder, is my kids warm? Wonder, have my kids eating? That takes a toll on a mother.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for a man to understand, because you guys are men, but
doubt.
a mother,
Yeah.
we there to nurture these kids.
I agree, yeah.
You know, so, and my kids is, my daughter, her birthday is today. Today is my daughter's birthday, yes. And she's 27, so she was 8 when I left.
Right.
She was 8. My oldest finna be 29. She was 10.
Yeah.
So imagine what the kids go through. It's not, I had to like really, really get it in my head. What about the kids? Because kids not even spoke on.
So, okay, now you're sentenced and you headed to federal prison for the first time. That whole experience, what was that like? Because in the federal system, you're not only just surrounded by people that's from Chicago or Illinois, as like the state penitentiaries, but it's people from all over the country,
yes.
all walks of life,
Yes.
rich, poor, white, black, Hispanic,
Yes.
every different socioeconomic background. So how was that?
That was an experience. That's an experience that you really can't even explain, because once they sentence you, you're no longer awarded the U.S. Marshal. Now you're awarded the FBOP, Federal
Right.
Bureau of Prison.
Right.
And my experience and they sent me to one of the roughest, I think, FCI that they made for women, and that was Danbury, Connecticut.
Okay.
You know, I'm
you're
thinking
way on the East Coast.
Yeah, yes.
Way out your element, right?
Yeah. So you know, I was put in a prison with 1,300 women with 1,300 different personality, all walks of life, all different type of culture. You know, it was like, where am I?
Yeah.
You know, I thought I was on a foreign land. You know, then at one point I thought that it was a co-ed because it was women walking around there that looked like men.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Is this men and women?
Yeah.
You know, but you know, I had to digest that.
Exactly.
You know,
You had to adjust with it.
I had to adjust real fast.
Right. Yeah.
Real fast. But it took me a little longer than others. You know. So
I read a book. You may have read it too. It's called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. He was a Holocaust survivor, and he went through the experience of being in the Holocaust and being, you know, basically incarcerated, right? And one of the things I got from that when man can get used to anything, and I experienced that, like, a lot of times, like, what you think you can't get through or can't get used to or even, I would say, tolerate, that you're going to make it through. Like, a lot of people say, wow, how do you do 20 years? How do you do 10 years? I say, you will.
You will.
You're going to get through it. You just do it.
You just do it.
After a while, right?
After a while,
you're
you
gonna
just do it.
And you're going to tolerate certain things. You're going to get by.
You're going to get by. You're going to tolerate things that you wouldn't tolerate even on the street.
Exactly, right.
You know.
But it's
if you
survival, though.
Yeah, and I had to get in my survival mode, and I had to get beast mode.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, I'm different. I'm dealing with so many different women, you know, and a lot of them got attitude and some don't.
Right.
You know, and they put me there where, you know, women who got life sentences, you know. And
different mentality.
Yeah. So, you know, in my journey, you know, I never gave up fighting. I never gave up fighting, and I never gave up any parental rights.
Yeah.
I was always in contact with my kids,
Yeah.
and I was always in that law library finding cases
And that
that
paid
looked
off,
like mine,
right?
and it paid off.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it. So, you know, in 2005, the Supreme Court ruled on the Booker and the fan, right? In which that is where the judge have the discretion to re-sentence you if the sentence was harsh.
Okay.
So, and at that time, I was still on my direct appeal.
Okay. So you had a way to get back in the court.
Yes, I was still fighting.
Right.
I never gave up. So I was already on my direct appeal. Then they shot it down, and I was denied. Then they filed a motion to the Seventh Circuit Court, which is in Chicago, the Northwestern District, Northeastern District. The Seventh Circuit Court, they shot my motion down.
Okay.
And my last motion was to file to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And when my attorneys filed to the Supreme Court, that is how I got back, because they had just passed their law, and I already had my case was still ongoing.
Exactly.
So I benefit from it.
Okay.
So after a few months, I received a call to my unit team to give me my legal mail, and then I opened it up, and it was saying that my case was vacated, set aside for resentencing.
Yeah, like a hitting the lottery.
Yeah. So, you know, and at first I didn't understand none of that. So
Yeah.
I go back to my room. I mean, like literally like running.
Yeah.
You can hit the officer, say, hey, Davis, no running on the compound.
Right, yeah.
And I just kept going.
going.
You know, I just kept going. And and I got back to court.
Yeah.
So that was the most beautiful thing that I can ever experience in my life, coming back to Chicago.
Exactly, yeah.
Just seeing the Willis Tower,
that, yeah.
downtown MCC. I was happy to be back in MCC.
Everything that we took for granted.
Everything.
The smallest things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was so happy you should have seen me. And you know what the crazy thing about it? Even the staff was happy to see me back.
Yeah.
They was like, welcome back, Miss Davis. And I said, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
So that sentence from 268, it went to 168. So I end up giving 8 years back.
Okay.
You know, which brought me home.
So what was that a total of? That 14 years, 168?
14 years and 6 months.
Okay.
I supposed to have been home a little early, but I got in trouble at the camp, you know, dealing with the cell phones.
Yeah, that's kind of that's the norm, though.
So I should have been home in after 12 years, but bad judgment
Right.
caused me to get some more time. So
while you were in there, right, I know you got your business going right now. Was that something that you thought about doing while you're in there? Because you got a few things going on. You got the banquet hall.
No,
okay.
No, none of that was in my plan. The only thing was in my plan at the time was to continue to utilize my time while doing this time. And I was always just sitting writing. Okay. After I gave the time back, I started getting involved in everything, teaching classes, going to school, just really like getting myself, involved in the school, teaching the stepper set down there, fashion shows. I started writing books, and my first book I wrote was, Chicago's Baddest Bitch, then the second Honor Thy Bitch, then Fire and Flame, and the list go on and on and on and on. So I just
can
didn't
those
sit
be
there.
found now on
Absolutely.
on Amazon?
Yes. You can find it on online bookstores, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, all the online bookstores, you can find it.
All right. So you finally released.
I'm finally released.
You're home now.
Yes.
I gotta make a living.
I gotta make a living.
Because you used to a certain lifestyle.
I'm used to this lifestyle that's hard to explain.
Right.
To come home to nothing.
Yeah.
So when I finally got home to the halfway house, which that's where federal inmates, now formerly incarcerated women and men, go to, it's the halfway house. I was hit with a subpoena. Then I was brought to my attention. I received a letter, saying that they was going to foreclose on my home. So I'm thinking in my head, so if you foreclose on my home, where I'm going to go? Because that's where I paroled to.
Okay.
So I was hit with so many things.
Yeah.
So I knew that, I got to do something.
Yeah.
But I can't do what I did that landed me there the first time. So it got to be something out here that I can do where I can make some money.
Let me ask you this, though. Like, was your mindset changed even on that level? Like, you knew that you weren't going back to the streets? Like, without a shadow of a doubt?
No.
Okay. That's honest.
No. I'm going to tell you, when they first sentenced me, before they sentenced me, if the judge had said, well, I'm going to sentence you to 60 months, Ms. Davis, I was going back to the street.
Yeah, no.
Because that wasn't enough for me.
Time, yeah.
I'm honestly, I was going back to the street to get some more money.
Right.
But when the judge sentenced me to what he sentenced me to, I give up.
Yeah.
I surrender. Yeah. I surrender because it's not often, it's very selected few women that go to trial. Some get life and some get 20 years. Yeah. I went to trial and they hit me. Yeah. So that was enough for me. That was a wake-up call. So no, it was no turning back for me. Okay. So, upon my halfway house experience, I knew that I had to do something to survive out here in the streets. Okay. And the first thing that I started doing, I kid you not, I started doing Uber. Okay. I started doing Uber to make some money because I had a mortgage to pay. Right. I had to come up out of this foreclosure. I was behind. And with the friends that I had that were supporting me, they helped me get this house out of foreclosure. Okay. So with that, so once I got the house out of foreclosure, I continued to grind so I can pay the light and pay the gas bill. Mm-hmm. And just to put food in the house. And I got 2 grandbabies. I got to feed them now. They looking up to me. Right. So I wanted to launch my first organization, in which was the Talk to Me Foundation. Okay. And I had to rent a space to launch that. I see. And they charged me like $600 to rent that space. Okay. But at that time, I still wasn't thinking that I needed to do just that. It still didn't hit me because I still had some more work to do. Okay. I just wanted to launch my baby. Right. And the Talk to Me Foundation is for kids whose parents are incarcerated. Okay. We make sure that kids stay connected with their loved ones behind the wall. Right. But the following next year, I had to I host another event for the Talk to Me Foundation where now I was part of different organizations. And I was like, wow, I need to come to me. I need to try to figure out how to do this here. Yeah. And what really prompted me to do this here, I was told that you could use my space to host your event. And I'm like, cool, okay, because now I got a sponsor, Dr. Willie Wilson from Chicago. Okay. He's going to sponsor this event. So after I gave the person the date, they told me that, hey, I'm not going to be able to give you that date. You're going to have to pick another date. I'm like, well, I need this date because I need to make sure Dr. Willie Wilson is here. Exactly. Everything is connected to that. It's connected to that. That is the reason why he gave me the money to do what I do. So that was like a slap in my face. Yeah. So, I'm explaining all of this to my sister and my kids. Mm-hmm. And my kids like, Mom, you can't be mad at anyone. Get your own. There you go. Ownership is the model. That's key. That's all you got to say to me. Right. Get your own. Yeah. And that's what I did. Okay. And I just been going ever since. All right. So now I got my own banquet hall where I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. So how I know over the years you learned, like, how was it running a banquet hall though? Like, what's the benefits behind that? The benefits behind running a banquet hall is where you can host private events and you can price it to what you want it to be priced at.
Mm.
So the benefits is you getting paid.
Okay. Yeah.
And you can host all type of events privately,
Yeah.
not publicly.
Okay, so all right, you put emphasis on that. So privately over public, like what's the
different
benefit? Like
you
can serve alcohol or something? Is that
yes, when you do a PPA.
Okay.
Yes.
Now,
When you do a
PPA, what does that
PPA,
mean?
that's a public place where you got to have 2 bathrooms and people from the outside can just come in. Just like a club.
That's like
It's just like a club.
hold on. So if it's a public place, anybody can just walk in there.
Absolutely.
And you got to have 2 bathrooms.
Yes.
But if it's private,
Can
what's the
anybody just
distinction?
walk in? Your private is for you and your guests.
okay, you do what you want to do.
It's you and your guests, whoever you hosting. That is a private banquet. No one from the outside that you're not aware of can
Okay.
enter in your space.
Now, is there some kind of a certification you need for that?
Well, no.
Okay.
No, just make sure that you get the right license,
Okay.
and you can have it, mine's is like Xsqusite Premiere t-shirts and accessory plus private pop-ups events.
Okay. So I see you put the t-shirts in
I
that.
put the t-shirts in
But
it
there
as
was
well.
a reason behind that?
Yeah, it's a
That
reason
way
behind
you
it.
wasn't kind of pigeonholing yourself?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So we do the t-shirts and we do the accessories, and we can host different pop-up.
Okay.
But
But that's popular now.
It's very popular. Everyone is doing it. Yes.
And that's good because now
Yes.
you can maximize. Somebody want to pop up, you can do, instead of doing something maybe just only on the weekend or just maybe a birthday, somebody doing a pop-up every day of the week.
If that's what they want, yeah.
That's what they want, right?
And I'm
Yeah.
here to serve them.
Right. So do you charge a premium for that? Since it's a pop-up kind of like, not even a last minute thing, but it's a...
I keep mine. Honestly, I keep mine. I'm with the community.
Okay.
I'm trying to give back to the community. I ain't trying to break nobody.
Yeah.
So I keep mine at $100 an hour.
Okay. Now,
You know?
is that pretty fair? Opposed
Yes,
to what
absolutely.
You,
Yeah.
okay.
Absolutely. If the space is bigger, mine's is 1,300 square feet. So if you
That's
got
a nice
one,
size,
yeah,
though.
it's a nice size. But what if those that have 2,500 square feet? So you can charge $250.
Okay.
Or, whatever you want to charge, it's your place.
Right. So do you also serve food and stuff like that?
No, I don't serve food. If you book with me, you can bring your own food in.
Okay. So that's an extra license you have to have.
You don't need no license because it's a private. It's a birthday. You bring your own food in. We don't have a kitchen.
That's what
We
I'm
don't
saying.
have-
So if you had a kitchen,
Yes, if I had a kitchen,
additional license and all that kind of
yes.
stuff.
So now you have to get license for sanitation. Who gonna cook? I don't have license to cook.
Okay, right.
So whoever gonna be the cook for that event, they have to be licensed.
Okay.
And
But
it
also you have a car rental service as well. So does that tie in well with the banquet hall?
It does. We do good with it. Actually the Beatty's Transportation actually is my brother, which is the founder of #1 Stop the Violence.
Okay.
We have the Bentley, and we have the Suburban where, we try to do package deal when we're doing prom send-off, free pass, gender reveal, women empowerment, men empowerment. Whatever you want to rent these vehicles for,
Yeah.
we're going to make sure that we can cater to you because Xsqusite Premiere is where it's all about you.
Right. So basically, if someone rent a banquet hall, you say, hey, I also have this complimentary service as well, which is a Bentley or the Suburban.
If they want to connect it together. Someone may think that it's too pricey for them. But with the prom, we do good with the prom.
Okay.
Because everybody want to drive in style.
Exactly, yeah, definitely. But that's only like a couple times, one time a year though,
It's,
right?
it's only once a year. But
Yeah.
then you got wedding, people who's getting married.
Right, yeah.
Bachelor, they want to be picked up, dropped out.
Okay.
Bachelorette, they want to be picked up
Yeah.
and dropped off. So it depends.
Okay.
But prom is really, really big when it comes to doing the package deal
Okay.
with Xsqusite Premiere.
Okay. So how much can I expect to pay if I wanted to rent out the Bentley from you?
Well, so for a pickup and a drop off, that's $800. So
Okay.
if they're gonna book with us, it depending on how many hours they're gonna book. Just
Okay.
say for instance they just want to do 2 hours because it's a 2-hour minimum.
Okay.
So that's $1,000. So guess what? I may charge them $800. So we're gonna knock $200 off because they booking together. So the person that's gonna be hit on the end is the transportation service because I'm already giving it to her for $100.
Okay, gotcha.
But we'll
Yeah,
work
that
out a
makes sense.
package with them.
Yeah.
We will.
So some of your marketing and promoting, like what's the best way you think you're getting
Social
the word out
media,
about?
social media,
is
and
good.
word of mouth. That's
Okay.
best. Word of mouth is always best.
Yeah.
A word of mouth is always best with anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Instagram, social media, especially with the pictures of the Bentley and stuff like that,
Yeah,
people kind of
yeah.
really
And-
get kind of caught up with all that.
Absolutely.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay. So outside of that, what else you got going on?
So outside of the Talk to Me Foundation, outside of Xsqusite Premiere, I am getting ready to cut the ribbon on my new transitional house
Okay.
for formerly incarcerated women. It's called the SOS House, Sister of Support. This is the first.
Yeah.
This is the first. So I'm highly anticipating
Okay.
cutting that ribbon.
Now, is that private, or are you doing things like with the federal government and the state government, as far as with the people who's being released? So you're just doing it market rate, so to speak?
Aaron, actually, I would like to just continue to do it private.
Okay.
But I know that we're going to have some women coming from the state.
Yeah.
And from the federal.
Right.
You know, I want to deal with women survivor of domestic violence.
Okay.
This house is going to be open to all of that.
Okay.
Women veterans. You know, I don't want to put no stipulation on who can come and who cannot come.
Right. So was there any kind of special licenses you needed to do the halfway house? Or you just pretty much it's almost like an Airbnb. You just kind of rent it out to who you want to rent it out to.
Well, I had to register, you know,
Okay.
and I had to make sure that I asked the neighbors if are they willing to welcome me into the neighborhood and telling them what it is that I'm doing.
Okay.
And they had no problem with accepting me, open
Okay.
arms, you know, because these people got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And if you all don't want them back into the community where they grew up, and where they gonna go?
Right. No,
Where they
definitely.
gonna
Yeah. So what's one of the benefits, I guess, of a person going to your halfway house opposed to maybe the Salvation Army?
They're gonna be treated like this is their house.
Okay.
And I know firsthand. I was there. So I'm changing the whole game. Y'all, the SOS house would not treat any of them ladies like the Salvation Army treated me. All those stipulations that they made us go through, and you was there, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So you know it was some stipulation, you know. But I am gonna have some rules. I'm gonna lay down some rules.
Yeah.
I was gonna lay down some rules, but I'm not gonna make it hard on the women.
Yeah.
You know.
So how many people this household?
12.
Oh, okay.
I
That's a nice amount
have
of
yes, I
people.
got 3 bedrooms on the first floor, 3 bedrooms on the second floor. It's 2 a room.
Okay. That ain't bad.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all. It's a blessing.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. Somewhere they can, like their home,
Yeah.
in a sense. So they stay there basically for the duration of
6
their...
months. You know, we try to give them 6 months, and then I'm getting ready to do. That's step 1. Then they got to go to step 2. So the step 2 is where I'm in the process of looking for more property to make the women have a property where it's permanent housing.
Okay. Okay.
You know, and if it takes some women a little bit longer
Yeah.
to get themselves together, the SOS house is going to accommodate that.
Okay.
We're not going to put anyone out.
All right. So it's one of the things you want to focus on is like financial literacy and things of that
We
nature?
want financial literacy. We want to focus on, some still don't even get their GED education. We want to make sure that the women know about the credit, first-time home buyer, and just different programs that we're going to implement into the SOS house to make sure that the women getting what they need, housing, clothing, jobs. We want to make sure we cover
Reuniting
all
with
of
their
that.
children.
Oh,
all
most
that,
definitely,
yes,
most definitely, making sure they have that connect.
Right.
And I am in the process now waiting on the city to let me know if I'm about the land next to it, because I want to do a garden.
Okay.
I want to do a garden, teach them how to garden.
All right.
You know, because now with the food that's, you know, out here, we want to make sure our food is fresh from the garden.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So we want to implement that as well.
Okay. All right. So what else outside of the SOS house you got going? Because as I said, you got a lot going on, which is a good thing. You stay busy.
Well, outside of that, like I said, I'm focusing my energy and my time on building the SOS house too. One in Chicago, because this one here is in Indiana.
Oh, okay.
This one here is in Indiana. That's the first one.
Okay.
And sometimes you have to step outside where you grew up at in order to get the support that you need.
Okay.
Because sometimes people are not supporting you or want to support what you're doing. And I'm from the Austin community, and I'm involved with a lot of the things that goes on in the Austin community.
And that's on the west side of Chicago.
It's on the west
right?
side
Okay.
with the aldermen, you know. So I had to step out and just, you know, think outside the box. How can I do this here? You know, and I started in Indiana.
Yeah.
So we're going to put one in Chicago.
Okay. West side, Chicago, south side.
It doesn't
Whatever
matter.
happened, right, yeah.
Whatever happened. It's still Chicago.
It definitely
Still
needed,
Chicago.
no matter what it's north
Whether it's
side,
the west
yeah.
side, south side, north side, it's still Chicago.
Right, yeah.
And I think the biggest thing right now that I think that we all should be focused on for all the viewers that's going to be watching this here, don't think that it's really, really, really hard to overcome those obstacles.
Mm-hmm. You mean coming out of prison or just obstacles as a whole?
Just obstacle as a whole.
Okay.
Whatever you want, you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about being at the right place at the right time. And I often tell people when I hear people say that this wasn't the right time. And I'm like, yes, it was. It's the time is now. Stop saying that. Stop limiting yourself. The time is right now.
Yeah.
You got to go get it.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's what I had to do.
Right.
And I started from, before I purchased this property, all my proceeds came from Xsqusite Premiere.
That's how it happens, though. You know, you take one thing and then you bounce off and do something
It's
else
just like
with
you
it.
flipping it. Right?
There you go. Yeah.
You know, you flipping it.
Different product,
Different
same
product.
game.
That's us.
Yeah, switching hustles. Definitely. But you also got a movement going on. It's Free Michelle West.
Yes.
Definitely want to touch on that. 'Cause that's very
Yes.
important. Young lady's been incarcerated for since 1993,
27 years.
right? Wow, that's a long
27
time.
years.
On a life sentence.
On 2 life sentences plus 50. She got 2 life sentences plus 50 years. First time offender.
Man, hold on. First time offender. Let's
First
get
time
the,
offender.
let's make sure the listeners know, right? First time offender, 2 life sentences plus 50 years. So basically, after she's dead, they want to come back and do 50 years.
Let me
This is
repeat
right.
that for you. Let me go back
Okay.
and say it. She got 2 life sentence plus 50 years.
She had to murder a whole lot of people.
She didn't murder anyone.
Nonviolent drug offense.
It's a drug. It's a drug case.
Right.
However, it is a murder in the case.
Okay.
But the person who committed the murder
Right.
got immunity. He's set free. He's still out here living his best life.
Okay. Wow.
Ain't that something?
It's more than something.
How can a person digest that?
Yeah.
So we do have a movement. It's the hashtag Free Michelle West, and it's nationwide. You know, we're trying to bring this sister home, and I know that a lot of you guys been tuning in to see what Trump is doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, by pardoning these women and giving these women clemency.
Right.
You know, so that's a good thing. So we just hoping that we can get this clemency from Michelle West.
Definitely, yeah.
And Michelle West is real. She's really, really dear to me.
So you actually met Miss West.
Yeah, me and Miss West was roommate for 8 years. That was my bunkie.
Oh, okay.
That was my
So
bunkie.
this is definitely near and dear.
Yeah,
I know how it is to be a bunkie with somebody. That's brotherhood.
that's family.
and sister.
That's my big
it's like
sister.
I tell people all the time that you can spend 5 years with someone in there, and you with them every day. You saying everything about them, and you have a close relationship with that person
do.
you had with someone you know for 25 years on
Absolutely.
the streets.
Ain't that something?
Yeah,
She's my mentor from in there.
yeah,
Do you know that this woman edited my book?
yeah.
She's the editor.
Wow, yeah, no, definitely.
She edited my stage play.
Yeah,
She even made sure that my 16-week pilot was intact for the reality show Love After Lockdown.
see, I always want to make sure that we highlight and really let the listeners know that how much talent is inside those prisons.
Oh, wow.
Like, people just maybe assume that most people in there, they just kind of like languishing away, just kind of just doing their time and making license plates or whatever.
Right,
but it's-
unicorn.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so much talent. I've met
It is
some
so
of the
much.
most ingenious men behind those walls. And so that was
Right.
one of the reasons why I do the podcast, because I know that a lot of men and women, when they come home, they're going to create businesses, right?
Absolutely.
And I want to make sure that those stories get out there, that this is what you can do. Taking an idea, just like escaping the odds. I had this idea 4 years ago. I came on last year, and I jumped on top of it. I just wanted to change the narrative. You know,
Congratulations.
so it's so many different things. Thank you. It's so many different ideas that I have that I've thought about while I was in there. And like a buddy of mine just came home yesterday after like 15 years, and super talented guy. And so, of course, we be doing some work together. But I just wanted to kind of just really highlight and let the audience know how sharp these men and women are. You know, especially to be doing things like editing the books and so many different things. It's like it'll blow your mind.
You know, let me just bring this to your attention.
Yeah.
When we talk about the talent and the people that we left behind, that's why it's so important for me to be the voice of the voiceless.
Yeah.
Because she can't speak for herself like other women this and that. They can't speak for themselves. When I came home, and like I said, I was trying to do the organization, get my 501c3, and it's a part that goes with that, which is the C4. So
What's the C4?
the C4 is when you can do political acts. You know, you can go rally.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Yes. So people need to put that in with their 501c3, a C4.
Okay.
So
See,
it's
that's why I
$50.
love
It's
doing
$50
this podcast, because I learn every week. I learn something.
But
different.
here's the thing. When I went to speak with someone to do my paperwork for me,
Yeah.
they told me $1,500 to just do the application
And
for
I know
the
you probably
501.
just said, you know what, I'll do this myself.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I read the paper and it's clear, but still, I didn't want to put the wrong thing down. So you know
Okay.
what I did?
What?
I went right back to the prison, my sisters.
Ooh.
I went right on back to the prison. I said, hey, I emailed Michelle West. I said, hey, Michelle West, I need you to contact Rhonda, because that's what Rhonda did.
Yeah.
That's how she got in there.
Exactly. Yeah. That's amazing.
You know, someone told on her.
Right.
Oh, man.
Right.
But that's what she do. She writes 501c and she does grants. So all I did was printed my paper out and put it in a yellow envelope and sent it back to her.
Yeah.
And I received it back and I sent it right on to Springfield.
Right.
Free of charge.
Yeah, approved.
Stamp. Just like that. So,
Minus $1,500.
all right, I saved $1,450, right?
Yeah,
Because
right,
I sent
yeah.
$50
Yeah,
just
exactly,
to print
right.
the papers
Yeah,
out.
right.
However, but you absolutely right. We got so many talented sisters and brothers in there. You know, anything that I need to have done, I'm not going outside to do it. I'm going to email them sisters, because I got some sisters in there and they some bad sisters.
Yeah,
I need you to write me
Yeah.
a proposal.
Yeah.
And I want you to start it like this here and you word it.
Yeah.
Then I'll send it back.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
And I know there's some brothers in there too that, you know, just as good too.
Yeah.
One of my roommates, just now we're speaking about that, one of my roommates, when I was coming back on my appeal back to court, was Betty Lauren Ortiz. Sister
her.
Romeo.
Yeah, I remember her. Yeah.
She was my man. And she became like, not my mother, but a bigger sister.
Right.
Because we talked about things that I don't think that she would have ever talked about.
Right, yeah.
You know,
It's-
and we was in contact with each other.
Yeah. That's good. The relationships that you build in there.
Yeah.
A
We're
lot
a
of
family.
times are lifelong, and sometimes people don't understand that. But you know, it's been great talking to you. Like, I can't just to let the audience know you're going to come back for next month, because next month,
Absolutely. If he's willing to have me back,
no doubt,
I'm willing to come back.
because next month is Second Chance Month, which
Second
is April.
chance, yeah.
And so I have some unique guests on. I definitely want you to come back and kind of speak more about this whole free Michelle West.
Yes.
Got to get that out there.
Yeah.
And any other nonprofit stuff you're doing for men and women that's coming home. So
Absolutely.
definitely want to get on top of that.
I don't want to close just yet
Okay.
without saying this here.
All right.
All your listeners,
Okay.
all the ones that's going to be viewing and tuning in, if you all can just do me a favor and come from the bottom of my heart, can you go on change.org and sign Michelle West petition? I got 146,000 signatures. I'm trying to get 150,000. Just go to the search bar and put in Michelle West, MICHELLE, West, WEST. Sign the petition for me, and let's bring this woman home.
Yeah, well, you heard it.
Change.org.
Change.org. Definitely. We definitely appreciate you coming on. And again, you'll be back next month in a few
Back next
weeks.
month.
How can we book space at Xsqusite Premiere?
You can find me on Facebook.
Okay.
You can find me on Instagram at Xsqusite Premiere. The address is 5939 West Madison. If you want to contact me, the phone number to Xsqusite Premiere is 708-858-3575.
Okay. And also, you got a book. Several books that's out.
Yes, I have several books, but I brought this one right here with me.
Okay.
It's called Honor Thy Bitch.
All right, keep
You
it
can
in there.
find this book on any online bookstores.
Okay.
And it's just one of the many things that I did while in prison.
Okay.
All of my books was written while I was in prison.
Okay, perfect. So there's any other websites, anything that you're doing that's related to anything that they could reach out to and be in contact with you?
They can visit the webpage and they can find out about up and coming events at the talktomefoundation.org.
Okay.
TALK, the number 2, foundation.org. There's a lot of posts that we done put up, as far as up and coming event, things that we're doing, that's collaborating with different organizations like the Institution of Nonviolence, the Stop the Violence, just different organizations that I collaborate with.
Okay, perfect.
We do the Coke book bag drive. We're getting ready to hit the streets in ministry on the south side and the west side.
Okay.
And we're getting ready to Talk to Me Foundation is getting ready to send the second young girl off to prom, and all expenses on Xsqusite Premiere and Beatty's transportation.
Okay. So
and that is our way that's my way of giving back to those young ladies whose parents are incarcerated.
Oh, that's dope. I like that.
Yes.
I like that. That's perfect. That's perfect. And it's like you already had everything set up for that.
Everything is
with
ready.
the banquet hall, the space, and the transportation, the whole nine. So it's going to be a great experience for that child. Yeah. Perfect.
And they get the opportunity to see their mother on TV because she's going to Skype.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. Did that last year, and it was beautiful.
Okay. Yeah. That's it, you all. Escaping the Odds podcast, where we unlock freedom. And we celebrating Women's International Women's Month. And I want to thank a couple of my sponsors, Mr. Dean, DiPiero Consulting.com. You reach out to him for any kind of legal services. And also Concerned Citizens of Cook County. Thank you all for supporting, and anyone else that want to support, just reach out to me. Facebook, Instagram, Escaping the Odds podcast. And I could be reached on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere that podcasts are played, I could be reached. So thank you all for tuning in, and stay free. Take care.
Peace.